very well. Stay consistent. Stay consistent, follow up. And social media is one way, but I will share with you more about what personal branding is and why it's important to all of us today, even more because a lot of people are not, for instance, natural salespeople. They, are not naturally outgoing. Introverts make the best networkers. So your personal brand matters moving forward because it's what you stand for. So I'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll get into some of the tools, in particular social media. And what I'll try and do here is condense about 16 weeks of a course into 30 minutes. So please bear with me as I do that. And please chat in any questions you have along the way, and I'll be sure to get to those, or Christina will monitor those for me. So let me dive right in here. Okay, sharing that and putting that in mode. Can everyone see that? Great. So personal branding and the experience of you. I think they're two intertwined. What is the experience of you? What do you deliver for others? How do people perceive you? So we're going to talk about how to develop a personal brand that helps guide your life and success. And this has been game-changing for people, game-changing for students as they're growing, and those in mid-career transition and as a result of COVID. So to emphasize a couple of points. 3 was founded on 3 pillars: people, purpose, and platform. And number 1, at our core, we clearly understand that people are our greatest asset. So I want you to keep in that mind, because you're going to be doing something based on core values. Our mission: provide a platform so entrepreneurs can lead a life of purpose and inspire others to do more, be more, and live more. The sad fact is, if we don't have confidence in ourselves, sometimes we have trouble inspiring others. If we don't even understand what motivates us and what drives us and what is at the core of who we are, then how can we do this for others? So, excuse me, we'll talk about that. And what is your story? What are the pillars of you as a person? What's the experience of you that you deliver? So that's just to set it up, because it'll all be related back. Well, first, let me start with what is a personal brand, because everybody's heard of it and nobody really knows what it is, or it has so many different definitions. Last time I looked, there were over 650 million results under Google search for what is personal branding. So it was first developed in 1997 in a Fast Company article. The knowledge and its popularity of the concept of personal brand has expanded exponentially with social media, since social media became a driving force of our lives in, say, 2005, 2006, where it really started to emerge. Wikipedia defines personal branding as this, and this is important, is the conscious and intentional effort to create and influence public perception of an individual by positioning them as an authority and elevating their credibility. I say no. Here's another one. Google One Search. Your personal brand refers to how you promote yourself. Partially. I disagree, though, with the concept that it's all about self-promotion. You already have a personal brand. This is the definition I really want you to understand, because this was taken from a book and an author I highly respect. Personal brand is the perception maintained by others that describes the outstanding qualities and characteristics of an individual and influences that person's relationship with you. How many people like to hang out with people who are negative? Yeah, no hands going up. So what we're going to focus on the outstanding characteristics and qualities that you have, and what makes your personal brand strong, and how you can make it even stronger, and how you can be more comfortable with yourself. Your personal brand is who we are in the minds of others. We don't all like Apple phones. We like Samsung phones. We don't all like, a certain type of music. It's perception that we have. So everybody, if I walk into a room and I'm going to a networking event and I meet somebody and meet 3 people, and I spend 5 minutes with them and I walk away, one person may say, hey, I really like that Dave, solid individual, really like him. Another person may say, you know what, I don't know what to make of that dude. He kind of, I don't know. He didn't really make an impression on me. The other person may say, I never want to see that guy again. He offended me. So our perceptions determine the brand. I know your personal brand. It's not what we tell everybody who we are, it's how they perceive us. So perception is really critical. And as you build your wealth and financial freedom and expand your network with 3. Strong personal brand isn't shameless social media self-promotion that is commerce driven. That's their professional brand. That's their commerce brand. A strong personal brand is built on values and the positive characteristics that we all have. It's built on being authentic and genuine in its design, the design of your brand. And it's about consistently making a difference for others, which is the core purpose of 3. So you are with a company that so embraces helping others. So understanding how you can convey how you're helping others and inspire others to do will build your network and build it into a network of people who love you, trust you, understand you, and are inspired by you. So a strong brand is a person who chooses, this is our definition, my working definition, that it's not about the shameless self-promotion. It's a person who chooses to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others and who builds trusting, valued relationships. You have an opportunity, we all have an opportunity to build a global fan club of each of us so that we can inspire others to live a healthier, better, more meaningful life. A weak brand, who's a person whose attributes and qualities lack clarity and do not seem to be someone who extends him or herself for others. We all have friends like this. We all have people like this who come in and out of our lives. We say, oh, I've met this amazing person. Or if I'm using college kids or high school kids, oh, I have a new BFF. And then you need to move, or then you need somebody to help you out of a jam, or you need some advice. And where is that BFF? They split. They're not showing up for you when you need it. Weak brand, strong brand. I imagine already all of you people on this call have strong personal brands. Let's talk about how we can help them make that even more memorable. Personal brand comes down to the experience of you, the experience that you create for others. Best quote ever about personal brand. Whether you like them or don't like them, Jeff Bezos is a pretty amazing individual. And what he said one time was, a personal brand is what people say about you after you have left the room. After you have left the room. It's not what they're saying to your face. It's what they're whispering behind your back. So, what do you want people to say about you when you leave a room or a Zoom? So make a note of this. We're not going to do this in the short time we have here today, but I want you all to personally think about this after the call at some point today and write down 3 perceptions you want people to consistently have of you. 3 perceptions. We all do this when we walk into an interview, right? We've done this in the past. What 3 things do I want them to think about me after I leave? We rarely do this, though, in life. We rarely do this in a networking meeting. We rarely do this in some social events. I do it intentionally. Here's what I want people to think about me. I'm optimistic, I'm caring, and I love life. 3 things: optimistic, caring, and I love life. So in my mind, when I walk into any situation, I have to think, how do I have to reverse engineer my behavior so people have that perception of me? Optimistic, caring, love life. So those are the 3 perceptions I want to create. I want you all to write down the 3 perceptions you want to create. So exercise number 1 for when we're off this call. Exercise number 2, and we'll share this so that you have a little worksheet. Select 5 core values. We know that purpose, people, and platform are part of the core values of 3. I know that Daniel Picard consistently cites love and contribution as his values. So what are your 5 core values? This runs you through an exercise where you rank all of these, and there's others that you can put in for yourself. Then you look at only the ones that you've selected in very important. And typically I get 9 or 9 or 10, because there's a lot of values that are important to us. Take all the ones that you've listed in the very important and distill it to 5. 5 values. These are your guideposts for life. This can be how you should, to go to George's point about social media, how you could set up your social media so every time people see you, you are creating social media posts that reflect who you are as a person, the core values that you hold near and dear to your heart, the perceptions that you want people to have of you. So 2 exercises. 3 perceptions you want people to have of you. 5 values that are core to your being and the way you want to move forward, the way you want to be perceived. So there's a repeat. So building your personal brand, you already have a brand. Remember, you already have a brand. It's what people think about you right now. So when I say building personal brand, it's building from what you are already known for. So you first define your brand. You learn the meaning of personal brand, which we've done. You understand the power of perceptions, which we're going to talk about because you've thought about the 3 perceptions that you want people to have about you. Are you selecting your core values, the style that you have, the standards that you have, which all also include. And there's something else that we do with a peer survey and behavioral assessments that I told George about. And I do this with my coaching clients. We send out an anonymous survey. And the survey asks, what do you think of how do you know Christina de Oliveira? Friend or family, professional or associate? And then they answer this question. Name 3 to 5 perceptions you have of Christina de Oliveira. Anonymously, honestly. So she gets back, if she gets back 25 people respond, she gets 75 words of how people describe her right now in her life and what she stands for. And then she looks at how she's seen herself. She's written down 5 core values. She's written down perceptions. She's written down standards that she lives her life. So she gets back 75 words. They're grouped by most frequent response. And she compares them to the 12 or 15 words that she uses to describe herself. And here's the magic. And this is why I love this exercise so much, is because people see how strong they come through in a positive way. We are all racked by, I think, self-confidence issues sometimes, lack of belief, over-worrying about how we're perceived, right? That's just human nature. Particularly college students who I work with, and people who have come out of COVID. It's an amazingly transformational journey that this whole society has undergone in 5 years. So Christina, let's say she gets to see the top responses out of 75 words. She gets to see that there's 10 most frequent responses, and then she compares them against hers. What happens in college with the college students and even mid-career professionals is they believe there's going to be things negative said about them. There's some opportunities for improvement, like too shy, or I don't know, something that is a soft improvement object. But 99% of the time, people are perceived positively. 99% of the time, there's nothing negative. 99% of the time, they look at this, and I'm able to say to them, see how your brand already is strong. Look at all these fantastic responses. Look at all of these incredible ways that people have used to describe you. So then Christina's able to take what she sees herself, how others see her, and pick the best. I really like how these people cited this strength. I really like what they said about me. And she comes up with 5 to 7 words of how now she can use to describe herself in every way, in doing an introduction, in putting a statement about yourself on social media, in talking about what you bring to the table, your value, what you're looking for in life. Incredibly powerful. So this is part of this is the 16-week course that we're going to just go over. But I wanted to give you a sense of, because we could do this with a Survey Monkey. There's a lot of different ways to get this done. So you can open your eyes and understand your brand is strong. People love you. People trust you. Now, how can we make it stronger? Second part of building your brand is self-determination. You're creating this brand platform, as I just described, the seven words or so that you want to use to describe yourself based on this reaction. You're creating your personal brand value statement, your personal brand impact statement, your mission. There's a lot of ways to look at this, and I can send out an example. Then you want to develop your impact stories, your stories of leadership that we do not give ourselves credit for. And then you want to roadmap and plan what the rest of your life looks like. 3 is giving you an incredible opportunity to recast your life. And we've heard amazing stories from all of the brand leaders of how they were able to just, change a course of their lives that have put them in a position to create generational wealth and affect their families and those of other people. So you want to put some stakes in the ground on what do you want to achieve. Look 20 years down the road. Look 15 years down the road. But look down the road and create a goal. And that's what they kept saying at the launch conference. Create that goal. Create a number. What do you want to make? What do you want to do? Because if you can't define it, you won't have it. We all need to understand the steps that we need to take to get what we want. So you have to plan what those goals are going to be and create the roadmap and the steps to getting there. Last part of building your brand is having constant self-awareness of who you are and what you bring to the table. Building relationships and networks, consciously thinking about how you can make a difference for others. And I'll give you one example, because a lot of students struggle with this and they go, what do I have to volunteer for a charity? And I say, no, you don't have to do that. Don't think so big. We all make a difference for others every day in our lives. Most of us, without even thinking about it. We help people. We love people. It's just putting that on steroids. Make a difference for others. Be intentional. Remember what I said about going into a networking event and thinking about those 3 perceptions you want people to have of you. So if you're going to church, if you're going to a social event, if you're going to a networking event, if you're hosting a meeting, think about the 3 perceptions ahead of time that you want people to have of you. Now, what do you have to do to reverse engineer your behavior, your actions, so that people understand? The number one, two biggest things you can do, most foundational elements of being intentional and helping people and helping people respond to you. Smile. Number one, far and away, an open, engaging presence. Smile. Number 2 is be a great listener. Put this down. I don't care how much it's ringing in your pocket. Keep it in your pocket. How many times have we talked to Generation Z and the young ones, and even in people our own age, and you're talking to them and they're looking over your shoulder, or they're looking, look, oh, I got to get this, sorry, and they're stepping away. Being an active listener is one of the greatest traits that people respond to. Have a growth mindset, and don't believe that there's limits to what you can achieve. George talked about the DMO book. That is fantastic. And define success daily. Too many people go to bed going, oh, shoot, I didn't do this to that. I didn't do that tonight. I got to do this. I got to do that. Pat yourself on the back when you go to bed. Go to bed with a positive mindset and congratulate yourself on what you did achieve that day. You will sleep better. You will wake up happier. Self-awareness of building your brand and helping you resonate with others. We don't like negative people. We don't like people who complain to us. So be that person that starts really helping yourself feel better about yourself. Barriers to building your brand. Let me just make sure. Yes, that was it. The barriers to building your brand we all know about this. Lack of confidence in ourselves, limiting self-beliefs. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that. Commitment to standing out. If you want to stand out, and you want to stand out for the right reasons, and you know yourself, you know your core values, you're confident in who you are as a human being, then you will make a commitment. There's really no in-between in building a brand. You're invisible or you're memorable. Invisible or memorable. We all know people who do not make an impact on us when we meet them. They just take them or leave them, or, oh, it was nice. You forget, oh, yeah, I met that person once. An unnecessary worry is the barrier to building your brand. Unnecessary worry. And this is the greatest quote I've ever. Worry is the thief of joy. Somebody shared with me something in college. Don't worry about what you can't control. So yes, we have to worry about many things in our lives, but when it doesn't serve your best interests, let it go. Deal with it. Say, I'm feeling this. Oh, I'm feeling this way. I'm thinking this way. Boom. Acknowledge it. It's there. To make a decision. Is this in my best interest to keep thinking about this? If you determine no, then push it behind you and focus on what's in front of you and all the good that you're going to do and all the wonderful people and love that you have around you. Personal brand is about making a difference. Personal brand is all about relationship. You are in the relationship business. You're building a business for yourself. You're building a future. You're building financial freedom and generational wealth. 75% of all jobs, referrals, recommendations come through relationships. So you are in the relationship business, and it's never more apparent as you're sharing Three and the incredible game-changing, innovative health products and financial freedom that's going to create for you. So you have to keep that in the bottom of your mind, because genuine relationships drive success, inspire trust and loyalty. Let me share with you one thing. We all know the I got a guy mentality. I need a plumber. I got a guy. I need an insurance salesman. I got a guy. We need a lawyer. I got a girl. She's fantastic. So we all play this game. And it's for good reason, because those are people that we trust. Genuine relationships inspire trust and loyalty. Relationships are built on mutual interests and shared values, core values, core values, core values. When we know what other people are around, when we share those values, when we share interests, it's easier and faster to create a relationship. Tell your story. Tell people what inspires you. It's called an elevator speech, and I'll get to that shortly. Brand is relationship. Brand is perception. The power of perception. Why does it matter to be perceived accurately? Have you ever didn't get off on the right foot with somebody? you might not have put your best foot forward, or you might have had something bothering you, or, somebody might have said, oh yeah, that person really doesn't like you, whatever that may be. It's all happened to us before. So the power of perception, to be perceived accurately, we live in a world in which first impressions are created in under 10 seconds. We live in a snap judgment world where people don't give you a second chance. So to be perceived accurately up front, and to present your best self, and to be intentional about and thinking about how you want to be perceived, is going to control how people perceive you, because they may not give you a second chance. Managing perceptions, becoming aware of those perceptions about you and learning to manage those perceptions, is the core of a strong personal brand. So we have all gone to this meeting. Let's go back to the networking meeting that I walked into, and I walked up to 3 people. And I'm talking to them. I'm talking to one, and that person's looking at their phone. They're looking over their shoulder. I'm aware that person does not give a crap about me. I'm aware of their perceptions. Second thing is, trust your gut. We all have gut instinct. Gut is the second most intelligent part of your body. It has the most intelligence other than your brain. We all feel it. We all feel great when we meet somebody who we like and we're laughing. Our whole body is filled with joy. And we know when we feel uneasy about something or someone. And it may go against our core values. It may be something that you can't put a figure on. I don't know what it is. I just don't like that person. Trust your gut. So being aware of perceptions, your gut also creates perceptions as you look at people. But becoming aware of perceptions about you is the core of a strong personal brand. Learning to manage those perceptions is being intentional, endeavoring to make positive first impressions, following up with people, smiling, giving them your full attention. All parts of controlling how people perceive you, even if we can't fully do that. A strong brand, when you commit to the strong impressions, you don't work harder to change bad perceptions of you. We've all played and seen people in this arena. Strong brand eliminates confusion. Some people may see you as well-informed. Others may think you're a know-it-all. Some people may see you as a hard worker. Others may think you're hardly working. Do you see yourself as a caring person? Others may perceive you as self-absorbed. There's a fine line between how people perceive you. So it behooves us to try and deliver the ultimate experience for others, so that we create fan club, so people understand right away that you guys are wonderful, caring, loving people who are helping to make a difference for others. I love this, and this particularly resonates with college students. Ralph Waldo Emerson, I don't know if any of you are fans of poets, he wrote, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." Now, Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote this in the 1840s. He was living on a pond. He didn't have many people that he was probably interacting with. Think of where we are today, where 50% of the world hates the other 50%. Or won't pay attention to them, or won't give them the time of day. We live in a world where people are trolling us and making fun of us and trying to make us be something else than who we are. Don't listen to them. When you have a strong personal brand, when you have belief in yourself, when you have confidence in yourself, and you have strong core values, you can control and own your personal brand. Do not pay attention to the haters. Worry about the lovers and the people who are more receptive. Don't try and turn 50% of the world in your favor. Work on the people that you have a chance to make the best impression with. Control and own your personal brand. Your personal brand is perceived visual. How you show up, what you dress like. I tell the kids, put yourself in front. If you're going out to an event, have a mirror or a cell phone at the end of a hall, walk up and introduce yourself to yourself. Hi, I'm Christina de Oliveira, the founding brand ambassador at See Your Smile. See how you walk up, see how you dressed, love yourself, but make sure that you know how you're showing up. Verbally, share your story. Storytellers win. We all have stories. That's a whole nother class. But online, where everyone lives, your brand is 24/7, 365 online, and written always matters. So your brand is perceived on many levels. And let's just talk quickly about body language. Speaking clearly and comfortably, making consistent eye contact. How many of us go and meet people who won't look us in the eye? Particularly college students and young professionals. I say, don't play Stevie Wonder on me and be walking around and look at me. Let's connect as human beings. Our posture always tells a story. We don't restrict yourself. If you're somebody who's expressive and uses great body language, do that. That's who you are. Posture tells us a great story. We all know when people are feeling, are restricted, and when people aren't open to us. Sitting with your hands down and crossed in front of you is a position that does not encourage people to embrace you. It's a position of restrictive body language. Open, hands open, shows that you're open. That goes back to medieval days. Be friendly, open, genuine, personable. You say, I'm have a hard time with that. Not if you know your personal brand and your core values, and you want to be intentional about who you are and the positive impact that you can make. Your brand tools, wrapping it up. And I'm sorry that you'll see something I just pulled from another presentation. Your elevator pitch, your introduction, 15 to 30 seconds. We've all heard about this. And it was the phrase elevator pitch came from the 1940s when people were riding up on elevators, and the elevators weren't as fast, and you had 15 to 30 seconds to, say hello to somebody. Who you are now, where you're going, your goals, your inspirations, your values, your strengths, the difference that you make for others, or the difference that you try to make for others. Hi, I'm David Thompson. I am a career coach. I'm an adjunct professor at Temple University, and I'm a founding brand ambassador at 3. That's who I am now, where I'm going. I am really devoted to living the rest of my life with financial freedom and helping others. My goals are to travel the world, enjoy all the best that life has to offer, and make friends everywhere. I'm inspired by my parents who grew up as only parents or as only children, and build a big family of loving individuals. And I want to help people feel confident. I want to help people feel better about themselves. I want to help people live the life that they want. So that was about 25 seconds. We all have stories to share. We've all overcome incredible things in our lives that can be part of your elevator speech. And you change it based on who you're meeting. What you say at a business meeting may be different than you say at church if you're meeting somebody, or at a networking event. But share your story, share your values. Then the other people can hear what you stand for and connect to you faster. They can hear what you stand for and connect to you faster. And when you share your interests, my interests are knitting. Christina just took a class for 3 hours and came home with an unbelievable blanket. 3 hours. So whatever interests you are, share them so you can find common ground faster. So your elevator pitch, you're always going to be introducing yourselves. You'll always be presenting. You're always going to be having an opportunity to share your story. So do it concisely, where you are now, where you're going, goals, inspirations, values, things that inspire you. Your brand on social media. So LinkedIn, TikTok. If you all are not on LinkedIn, I would still encourage you to get on LinkedIn. We know we're all on Facebook and Instagram, and Dr. Dan's on TikTok, and absolutely killing it. But LinkedIn is becoming a Facebook for business professionals. People share their lives, share their selves. So don't think that if you're not on LinkedIn that you don't deserve to be there because say that maybe you've been a stay-at-home dad or a stay-at-home mom and you're just getting into this. You can be on LinkedIn. Now, what I want to understand for all of you is in any social media platform, update frequently, share yourself frequently, be a content creator and a contributor, connect consistently with others and follow up, as George said. Make all social channels reflect your values. Here's how. You've picked 5 values, and I'll just use family, travel, creativity, happiness, and one other. I create a column of each of those. And then I write down things that I could share and things that I could do, social posts, part of my life. I just traveled here. I'm sharing all the wonderful things that I learned and saw. Family, I'm sharing good stories about, my family. Creativity. I just took a knitting class and I just made a 6-foot blanket. Share this stuff, share you and who you are genuinely. I would not be overly take an interest in others. Number 2, comment on their posts, make them feel good about themselves. Like and comment. Now, I would say content, comment, and resharing is more valuable than just liking stuff. Liking stuff, it's not seen in the algorithms. When you comment and repost and share, that's seen in the algorithm and helps make that person go up in search and share into your channels. Other ideas, don't be overtly promotional. We know we've got a great products in 3. We know that 3 is changing lives in many ways, but don't do 5 posts a week just sharing products and say, hook up with me and buy products from me. It's about building trust, loyalty, friendships, and relationships. So certainly sharing, creating posts about products is great, but ultimately people are going to say all this person does is promote products and not be responsive to you. Instead of, if you created a content calendar that talked about helpful tips for healthy living, sharing stuff about your family, sharing stuff about travel, content that you're finding just valuable and that you want others to know about, health-related tips. So mix it up on social media. And 3 will be a big part of it, because then they're going to want to know, when they understand they like you and respond to you and see social media posts that reflect their interest and values, they're going to want to know more about you. So social media is where you live. Take down any questionable stuff. This is what you all are adults, but I have to share this just because there are so many people that have made mistakes on social media and had relationship issues. And clean your social media if you've got any doubt about it. That's just one helpful tip, as if you needed that, but I have to mention that. So the bottom line is the experience of you, make it memorable, make it reflect your values, make it build this global fan club. You all are memorable. You all are leaders in your own right. You all have leadership stories. You all have things that people relate to and people who love you. Now you're just in the process of expanding this, and then more business with 3 will come as you help change people's lives financially and from a health perspective. Here's how you can contact me if you have any questions. Love to help. Love to help you more. I believe in three. I am not a natural quote unquote salesperson, but I love people. I love connecting. I love sharing, and I am so excited to be part of three. And I responded in many ways because of the incredible love that Daniel Picard and the leadership team shares for helping others, the love of contribution, the love of helping others. It's an incredible international movement, and it's going to benefit us all. So again, think about this. Be memorable. We all have it in us. Thank you.
Great.
And I'm sorry I took us right to nearly to the 1 o'clock, George. But
Oh, no, perfect. No, we had 3 minutes. Christina, you want to say something before I thought you were going to.
Well, I'd love to say something, except, yeah. So thank you, David, for taking time from your super busy day to share all this incredible information. Did everybody find that helpful? Was that helpful? Did you all enjoy that? Was that informative? Did you learn a lot? I know Daryl is the David Thompson fan club right now. I tell you what, Daryl's like #1. When I told Daryl that you were going to be on this week, David, he was like, couldn't talk any more highly of you. So, Daryl, your guy is here. How was that, Daryl? What'd you think?
Well, when I met him at dinner, it was pretty amazing, uplifting, the three things you qualify somebody by, and he was all of those. But just to have him on this call and just what he stepped through was just phenomenal. And I didn't get to write a lot of it down. My wife did because she was at home, but I was like, I'm hoping she's getting all of this because we all need it. We all can use it. Just the 30-second elevator thing is something that needs to be reinstituted. People are afraid to talk to each other. You go in an elevator and they look at you and then they look away real quick. And it's because they don't want to have conversation. And I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that sparks up the conversation and irritates people. And that's my job. Okay, I like it. But David, you are phenomenal. If they didn't get something from this, it was because they were napping. I'm telling you, you are phenomenal, and you are #1 in my book, buddy. Thanks, Christina.
Thank you, Daryl. And don't forget, everyone, that the presentation has been recorded and it will be available on our YouTube channel. So you can look for it there. And I'm sure David wouldn't mind sharing a hard copy of his or, an electronic file of his presentation as well. And I think he's also will be following up with that little 1-page values exercise that he's encouraged all of us to do, which I know I'll be doing that myself, probably even today. So I was pretty excited. I thank you again. I have nothing further. Does anybody else here have any questions for David or George or anybody?
Yeah, I wanted to say that was an amazing presentation. I took so many screenshots, and of course, I'm going to watch the video now on YouTube. And I'm glad we put in YouTube because that everybody can reach it from everywhere. Yeah, it was an amazing presentation. Remember, branding, and we talked in the past, branding is so important. Today is more important than ever. And when you go to that presentation several times, because you can get the full information of that presentation, you have to go slide by slide. You have to go through everything to what he's here saying and apply it to your life, one by step by at a time. But it's an amazing presentation. Thank you, Dave. Amazing presentation.
Fantastic. And I think, George, unless you disagree, and Adrian, I'm sure is in the background, but I would love to see more presentations like these on this call. I have somebody lined up to do a presentation for us specifically on the use and power of social media in our business specifically, and also the use and power of funnels. Sometimes we get contacted by so many people about doing lead generation and funnels and all this great stuff. And I know a few of us are dabbling in that work right now. So I have someone who is a subject matter expert on this topic in supporting people in our line of business specifically. And I'd love to see them come on the call sometime in the near future and deliver a presentation to all of us and educate us all on how we can tap and leverage that resource as potential business builder for all of us. So little things like this, and then open to suggestions too. If there's something out there that you guys want to hear more about, that you want to learn more about, maybe you're hearing or seeing something on social media that is intriguing to you and you want to know more, let us know what that is. You know, let's pool our talents together and see what we come up with. This is a collaborative entrepreneurship, people. We're in this together. We're here to support one another. We all have unique skills and talents. We all have incredible knowledge to share with one another. Let's bring it together. It's, again, collaborative entrepreneurship. Let's support one another for the common good of 3.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And again, thank you, Christina. Thank you, David. Amazing job. And now we are ready, packing the car, ready to head for St. George. But again, it was an amazing presentation. Thank you very much, everybody. And we connect with you later. Thank you again.
All right, guys. Thank you.